We are going to take a look at two different fraud cases today that have reached a verdict in January of 2025. One is from a veteran who lied about having a Purple Heart, which is absolutely insane, and collected almost $800,000 in benefits. And the other one is a Marine who has ALS. However, their benefits were stolen from them, which is even crazier than the first one. Now, if there are ever people who give veteran disability compensation a bad rep, these are those people, okay? It's important to highlight fraud when convictions happen because I think it brings everyone back to reality. Our job as veterans is to submit evidence-based claims, remain truthful, remain vulnerable, remain open, always. Anyways, here we go. And starting with this first one here, we have Army veteran sentenced to federal prison for over $750 million benefit fraud. Okay, Florida man, Pensacola, Florida. Florida is a great place. Crazy things happen. Kevin Paul McMains, 44 of Milton, Florida, has been sentenced to federal prison 33 months, so about 3 years, after pleading guilty to 1 count of theft of government money and 2 counts of making false statements to a federal agency. The sentence was announced today, and you'll see this is in Monday, January 13th of 25. Our service members and their families make incredible sacrifices to defend our country and are deserving of our deepest respect and the disability benefits intended for our injured patriots, says U.S. Attorney Cootie. What a hilarious name. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right, but I'm going to pronounce it that way anyways. Consequently, the defendant's fabrication of documents and false claims of service-connected injuries, to include his assertion he was awarded a Purple Heart, is not only criminal, but repugnant, and I would absolutely agree. We remain committed to vigorously investigate and prosecute those who defraud the government, disability programs, stealing benefits earned by our veterans. One, how did that slide through the VA about being awarded a Purple Heart? Over 14 years, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but $779,000. And you can see a portion of that Social Security Administration was $357,000. That is absolutely insane to me. That's just one. I'm going to keep this video relatively short. Another one, January 17th. So yes, fraud does happen. Now it's a very small number. This one is very, very sad, right? There's a 20-year Marine with ALS, which really sucks. The veteran didn't commit fraud. However, people are stealing that money. That's really messed up. A New Bedford man was sentenced today for stealing over $450,000 in disability benefits issued by the VBA, intended for a 20-year veteran of the Marine Corps who was suffering from ALS. Joseph Smith, what a name, 71, was sentenced by U.S. District Court Judge Julia Kobik to 23 months in prison. That's too short of a sentence, in my opinion, to be followed by 2 years of supervised release. Smith was ordered to pay back $459,000 in restitution. In September of 24, Smith pleaded guilty to 1 count of theft of government benefits and 1 count of conspiracy to steal government benefits. Smith was charged in June of 24. Now, I do want to read through this one because it is so messed up. Shortly after the victim's ALS diagnosis in August of 15, the VBA approved the victim's application for disability benefits and awarded about $8,000 per month, and that goes up with COLA. The VBA began issuing payments in September of 15 via monthly checks mailed to the victim's former residence in New Bedford, where he had resided with Smith's relative. Between 15 and 20, while the victim was hospitalized for ALS, Smith, who was convicted, and others received monthly VBA disability checks intended for the victim and deposited those checks into bank accounts that they controlled. Smith first deposited the disability checks into a bank account in his own name, and then he began depositing the checks into a bank account that he had others fraudulently opened in the name of victim. That's sad, dude. This guy is 71 years old. He should not be doing that. Shortly after disposing the disability check, Smith withdrew the funds in cash and used the money for personal expenses. This sentence sends a clear message that individuals who steal VBA or VA benefits from disabled veterans will be held accountable. This is worse than fraud itself. Dang, dude. Wow. Mr. Smith admitted to stealing federal disability benefits, which he gained access to by misusing someone else's identity, including their social security number. Sad, sad, sad. Anyways, hey, fraud does exist. You know, I made this video because earlier someone had mentioned closer to 50% of veterans commit fraud. That's not the case at all. It's less than 1%. It's a fraction of 1%, but it does happen. Clearly, it does happen. We have one veteran lied about having a Purple Heart, collecting Social Security and VA benefits, which is insane. And then what's more insane is a veteran who does have ALS, those benefits were stolen from them and identity theft occurred, and it's just sad all around. Anyways, that's all I got for today. What a great story.